everyone, welcome to Off Air with Gbemi and Toolz. Toolz.
What up?
I'm still trying to get used to this mode of recording, so it's a bit, What's up? How are you?
I'm okay, actually. I'm just making sure that my wig is actually in the middle, because it looks like it's in the middle, but then I don't know what it looks like for the people at home. But I tried, basically, but, there's nobody to do my hair, so, ugh.
So you're just sending out a disclaimer just in case.
Look, every damn thing I'm doing, I'm sending out a disclaimer, because in the end, I had to get my nanny, one of my son's nannies, to help me do some cornrows, because my hair was just looking atrocious. So thank God for wigs, man. Thank God for wigs. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. How are you doing though? Has it been? How have you been coping with everything?
I'm good. I've been coping well. I'm still going to work and all of that. The guys on the road are still there, hailing you as you drive past. More and more people are on the road walking.
Not social distancing.
No, they're not. It was like they were doing it at house spots today on Lekki Ikoyi Bridge. Like there were so many people jogging, stretching. I'm like, can you relax and just stay in your house? Like seriously, it just didn't make any sense. But you know what? That's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. Shout out to the people. I read comments on my last episode. The people who said I always have a drink. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
Basically, they're trying to say you're kind of like an alcoholic.
No, they're not. I just don't like to be parched.
Yeah, maybe I'm kind of telling them, but you're kind of an alcoholic.
I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not kind of an alcoholic, and I'm always drinking apple juice.
Okay, don't pretend too much. It's all good. All right. So first of all, oh my gosh, yesterday I stayed up to watch Teddy Riley and Babyface, and it was just amazing. I was so upset because I tried to watch it on, I think it was Saturday, right? It was Saturday, and then Teddy Riley showed up with his whole family. A DJ, a drummer, a producer, just different, and he had a stage set up, like he was about to do Coachella, and Babyface was just in the studio by himself.
And everything.
And I was like, Teddy, what are you doing? You're doing too much. He was doing too damn much. So I was very upset, because that was it was supposed to be something that's so legendary, but I'm so glad that they rescheduled, and I'm glad that they told Teddy Riley to calm down a little bit. And it was great. It was great. I think for me, one of the best moments was when Babyface dropped Tevin Campbell. I was like, oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was nice. I also liked when Babyface dropped music from, who was it? I think it was Boyz II Men. He also dropped TLC's Red Light Specials.
Karen White.
I was like, oh yes, Karen White. Now let's give Teddy Riley his props. He has put in a lot of work as well. He's worked with a lot of the greats, the Jacksons, all of them. So we cannot say that he hasn't done his work. He has put in a lot of work as well.
Of course. I feel that it was, because when I first saw on, I think it was Swiss Beats page, that this was going to happen, I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting, because I know that both of them have produced for so many artists. They both have extensive, catalogs and everything. And I was just like, this is going to be interesting. I did think that Babyface was just going to win, which I believe he sort of did. But you know what I love? I love the way Babyface was just throwing subtle shade here and there. That was a remix. Are we doing remixes? I don't know. I don't do remixes. I was like,
Well, he was very smooth. It was smooth shade.
He hasn't aged, Baby. He hasn't aged. I hate that.
That's not Kamakbaro. He has aged small, but he looks very good.
Wait, how old is he? Is he not almost 60 or something?
He's 62.
Gbemi, does he look like a 62-year-old?
He looks like a 52-year-old, not 62.
See, you know what it is? It's that kind of, it's when you have that kind of money, that peaceful money. Yeah, I'm gonna call it peaceful money, where you're like, well, I'm not gonna stress. I have money, So I was tweeting about twerking online. We spoke about it briefly during the last episode, and I was tweeting about it, and Oh my goodness, I got so much feedback because I just thought I'm trying to work on getting my opinion across without being like, judgmental, because really and truly, I feel like if you're an adult, I can't come and say to you, no, this is what you should be doing, that's what you should be doing. But I also operate on the basis of there's so many different things that I wish somebody had told me when I was younger, when I was a young lady. Like, for example, when I was a young woman, a young lady going to secondary school in London, in my school uniform, when I was walking down the street and these guys were driving in their car, seeing me in my school uniform and trying to talk to me. Yeah, at that point I was like, oh, older guys, yay. But then now I'm just thinking they were pedophiles. They really were pedophiles because I was under 16. So there are a whole bunch of things that I'm thinking, you know what, I wish somebody had told me that when I was younger. So that's sort of where it came from. And if you think about it, like, so I got a lot of feedback from, both men and women. And the sad thing was, the majority of the feedback I got from the guys was that leave them. They don't really think they have a future, so let them do whatever they want. And that was quite sad, because I was thinking, I don't think there should be any like young woman out there just thinking, well, I don't really have much of a future, so I'm just going to do whatever. I thought I was very saddened by that. I was like, I didn't think that was right. And then on top of that, I found that of the guys that responded, I would say 95%, maybe even more. Obviously, they didn't have any respect for them, but then they would be there hailing them on IG Live while they're pouring Hollandia milk or whatever it is all over their bodies. And there was one girl that I was just like, so I don't watch these things, but obviously you're in groups, you're in WhatsApp groups, you're in, and people send stuff to you. And there was one girl, I was like, that looks like it's yogurt. It looks like it's yogurt. And I was like, we're about to go through a recession. You shouldn't be wasting food like that. So I just kind of felt that, I felt that it was important to get my opinion across. And yeah. I did do this disclaimer at the end because I didn't want people to be like, oh, Toolz is killing our fun. I'm like, look, as long as you're an adult, you can legit do whatever you want. You can have a full gynae exam on Instagram Live if they let you, if they don't shut you down. It's your business, but be prepared for the consequences. And we talk about this. This country is not forgiving to women. It's not. So you should, you can say, well, you know what, it shouldn't be.
But it's not even just this country. In general, I think in the world, like they guys get away with so much. They get away with so much. Well, especially when it comes to this, for example. If, for example, the guy's nudes get leaked or whatever it is, or whatever, or there's a clip or something, he doesn't get as much flack as if it's a woman, for example. And I understand what you were trying to say, and people were like, oh, you don't have to preach to them, stop being sanctimonious. Okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, I just feel like you didn't insult anyone. You just gave your opinion, and it is what it is.
Look, if as you're watching this, you disagree with me, and you feel like, twerking on IG Live is, like life for me, go ahead, do whatever. I just feel that where you, for the young ladies that actually think, well, you know what, I don't know, where my future is going to take me. I don't know if there's anything great. You know what, a lot of women in very, very powerful positions. Now look at Oprah. When she was young, I'm sure she did not even think that she could achieve a quarter or even 20% of what she has achieved now. She's one of the richest women in the world. So when she was like, 17, 18, 19, if somebody said to her, hey, guess what, Oprah, by the time you're this age, you're going to be like the richest, one of the richest, black women, or one of the richest women, period, in the world. I'm sure she would have been like, really? So don't just kind of discount yourself like that. Don't think that, oh, well, where I am now, I'm struggling, I'm this, I can't really see. Anything can happen. And I just know that the way, I'm going to speak about, being in Nigeria. And imagine one of these young ladies, they now get this, they manage to get a political appointment or something, and they're running to be like, I don't know, the first female governor or something. what's gonna happen? Somebody pulls out this video. Better believe, as you're twerking on IG Live, somebody's recording, somebody's saving it. So somebody will have access to that. So imagine you have done this. It's way in the future. You probably forgot you did it, and you're there. You're thinking, I'm about to make history. I'm about to do this. And then somebody now just pulls out this video. And you know what? Some of the guys that were even watching it are going to be the ones that will be the first people to throw stones at you. They will be the first, so that's
the ones that are telling you to bring a Hoya. Bring a
Hoya. But what I hate is that when the shit hits the fan, it's the girls that are actually twerking that get slated. It's the girls that twerking that get dragged. To be honest, I'm quite disappointed by is it Slim Case? Who else? I don't know the Hoyle guy. I can't remember his name. But I'm just like, why? Because you wouldn't see for those guys. I feel like
no. But I have a question. Why are you disappointed?
Say that again.
Why are you disappointed?
I'm disappointed because I feel that, look, if they're gonna do that, they should as well tell their sisters, their aunties, their female cousins, oh yeah, join in. I'm doing this competition. You need to twerk online. They should get them to join in as well. But obviously they won't.
Nah, I'm not disappointed because I don't.
You didn't expect better from them anyways.
Especially if I don't know you. Do you understand? I don't know you personally, so I'm not gonna hold you to any standard.
Yeah, I get.
If you were someone that you know or someone that you talk to or you're acquainted with, But I wasn't disappointed. I don't feel any sort of way about them because I didn't expect. Or do you understand? I'm indifferent. But I get what you mean, and hopefully, and it's not just when you want to run for office. Think of, in general, maybe let's say you've built this empire, and you are about to take your company on the stock market, and you have all these investors and all these people, and then just when you're about to take put your company on the stock market, a clip from 25 years ago where you were twerking with your bare buttocks, pouring Hollandia yogurt on your face. Do you understand? But look, let's stop. You know what? I don't want to sound preachy, and I'm not trying to, so it's fine. I'm also not trying to be like this fuddy-duddy auntie, and I'm not your auntie. So whatever it is you want to do, enjoy, do it.
Just know that there will always be consequences. Now some people are like, oh, but Kim Kardashian got famous from a sex tape. I'm like, do you know how hard Kim Kardashian's mom worked? Do you have a momager in your life? Do you have, what's her name again? What's the mom's name?
Not everybody has Kris Jenner.
Yeah, do you have a Kris Jenner? And you need to remember, that is America. This is Nigeria. This is Africa. Things are different.
I think she also got lucky. Let's be honest. Yeah. She's not the first woman or the last woman to have a sex tape, to take whatever pictures or whatever it is. But, I think things just clicked for her and for them in general. Yeah.
I agree with you. I think she was lucky. You know that there have obviously been women after Kim Kardashian that have tried to use that formula and it hasn't worked. They're ones that purposely leak their sex tapes and it hasn't worked. So everybody's seeing your ass, and guess what? You're not making money from it. You're not famous. So you can't. You can say, well, Kim Kardashian did it, but first of all, you don't have a Kris Jenner in your life, probably. Secondly, I'm sure this is not something that she's happy to show her kids and be like, hey, guess what? Back in the day, mommy had her ass out and everybody saw her, so I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know Kim personally. Maybe it's something that she, doesn't really care about. I don't know. But I just feel like whatever you're doing now, catch your fun, have fun, do whatever, do whatever makes your heart sing. But just know that with certain things, there will be consequences, and you need to think about where you could possibly be in the future. And are those consequences going to hurt your chances for success? Pretty much.
Absolutely. Simple. Now, let's talk about, I feel like this pandemic era is bringing out the worst in people. People are getting desperate.
No, Gbemi, those people had demons inside them already. Oh. The demons are now just being fed.
Wait, now, they're getting super desperate. Last week, I got messages. Somebody was trying desperately to get into my Instagram account. Which, by the way, I think even if they had gotten in, it would have been very, very disappointed because there's nothing inside my DMs that you want to go and get or whatever. So, and I just thought it was. So I kept getting emails. It seems you are having difficulty signing in. Have you forgotten your password? Blah blah blah. So what I did is I just changed my password altogether. And I'm not the only one who has complained about this. Lots of people have actually said that people have been trying to hack into their Instagram.
Do you do the two-step? You should do the two-step notification. Where when you log into a new device, it now has to contact you and everything.
Oh yeah, I have that. Then, another thing again is
someone tried to someone actually tried to hack into one of my email addresses, and I was like, huh? There are no nudes, man. There are no nudes. The only thing you see is probably selfies. The only pictures you see are probably selfies. I'm not like that.
So I mean, but okay, let's take it back a few weeks ago where one of our country's icons basically was being blackmailed because of pictures that she took years ago. Like, if you look at the pictures, you can tell that this picture is at least 20, if not 25 years old. Salawa Beni, the famous musician, she got this email or I think WhatsApp message or something where they were trying to collect money from her because they had come across some of her pictures from back in the day. And then so she had to release this statement and post the pictures, which by the way, they were not even that.
They weren't that bad.
But I mean, she's not, she's old enough to be our mom. So to her, she must have felt, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But I mean, for those of us,
she's good. She's actually good friends with my mom. I need to check. I think we're related. I'm not sure. Continue.
And then today, I woke up to news that some people were trying to do the same thing. But this time, what they allegedly did was that they took pictures of these two women and edited them to make it look like, they were topless or naked. Do you understand? It's like a picture of you in a swimsuit out there. Somebody takes that picture, edits it, and does some, Photoshop on it to make it look like you're topless or naked. And then they started emailing them, oh, we have your pictures. If you want, let's talk, let's negotiate. If not, we're going to release them to social media, blah, blah, blah.
Can I ask something? So basically, you get this message saying they have nude pictures of you when you know you didn't take, when you know that at that particular photo shoot you weren't naked. Isn't that daft?
Very daft. Also, to show you that the person obviously was just trying their luck. One of the people told me that there were at least 8 people on set when she was taking the pictures, and they were all, swimsuit bikini pictures. Why would she want to be naked or topless in front of 8 people? Do you understand? It didn't make any sense at all. And even if that's aside, so they made up these pictures, they photoshopped these pictures and decided to, if you don't comply, if you don't give us what we want, we're going to release it. Okay, release it. It's breast. Is it breast people have not seen before? Another thing is, okay, let's even say they did take these pictures. It's 2020, uncle and auntie, or whoever this person is. You really think people are going to be scandalized by nudes? Really?
You know what? I think it's with things like that. I always think about the family and and it's difficult for parents to understand. But I just feel that we need to have the law come down harder on these people, because again, guess what? Women tend to be, more often than not, women tend to be the victims, and it's just unfair. It's so unfair. When I saw the Salawa Beni post, I was just thinking, really, you're gonna do this to this legend, really? And I was so glad at how she handled it. I was like, you know what? She just did it so well. She did it so well, and I'm hoping that somebody has been able to track that person, and and I hope they're dealt with. But it's disgusting. It's disgusting behavior. You really should be, as an adult, you should, if you want to take naked pictures for yourself, if you want to take them for your partner, go off, have fun. But you shouldn't be in a position where somebody now gets those pictures and they're trying to like blackmail you or whatever. I just think that's disgusting behavior. I think that's disgusting. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
And people who try to blackmail people, whatever it is you're using to blackmail or trying to use to blackmail them, by the time they release it themselves, you have nothing.
Yeah.
They've taken power away from you.
You have absolutely nothing. But guess what, Gbemi? I think people do that because probably in some cases, some people like fold and they're like, oh, this is going to bring too much embarrassment to me, fine, whatever. But for me, if you're gonna look, if anyone's trying to like Photoshop, just make sure the boobs are banging, man. If you have one of my pictures where you're trying to like Photoshop, just make sure the boobs are banging. I'll release it for you. I will be like, I'll release it without the things as well, without the blurred out boobs. I'm like, hey.
I just think it's ridiculous. Like, it's so 1962. Like, okay, we have these pictures of you, so we're going to release them unless you give us money. So who says that if the person gives you money, you're still not going to release the picture? Of
course. I think the Salawa one was just really disappointing because the guy's like, oh, you'll see me burning. I'll send you a video of me burning the picture, and I'm like, you sent it to her via WhatsApp, you dumbass. So that means you still have the image on your freaking phone. So it did make sense to me. But yeah, I'm glad that lots more women are not folding and they're not kind of being, embarrassed into paying this stupid kind of ransom. So yeah, let's just see. And I'd like to see more arrests and more like prosecutions for stuff like this.
Let us talk about this lockdown. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to get extended?
Well, I've heard that the airport will be shut for another 2 weeks, which for me is an indicator that this lockdown might be extended. But my thing is, if we're undergoing an extension of this lockdown and people are not following the rules, because obviously we are considered essential workers, so we're allowed to go to the office, and obviously come straight back home. But when the last time I went to the office, Obalende was so busy. It wasn't, the normal busy, but it wasn't quiet at all. Mm-hmm. People were selling stuff. People were, there were, the market was kind of open. There were stores. So I'm just like, what is the point of having this lockdown if people are not following the rules? I don't see the point. And then you need to, if you're going to have these rules, you need to make sure that they are very, very well enforced. So Abba Kyari unfortunately passed on after he was found to have coronavirus. He passed on, and it was shocking seeing footage of his burial. And people were there not practicing social distancing. Remember that these are the same people that arrested Funke Akindele for having a little get-together in a house. But there were more people at this burial not practicing social distances. Some of them had social distancing. Some of them had, the mask. Some of them didn't. But they were sitting shoulder to shoulder. You didn't see... So I was thinking, what message are you trying to send? And bear in mind, this was after... we had been told that people that had passed on from coronavirus, their families would not be able to claim their bodies. And you see something completely different happening like right before your very eyes. So I'm just thinking, what is going on? If you know that you're not going to enforce the lockdown, there's no point. There's no point, because having a lockdown where people are just walking about freely, doing whatever, it just doesn't make sense. And then the people that are supposed to be getting food, the people that are really going through a tough time, they're supposed to be getting food. We don't know if they've gotten it. They're still debating on how to share this money. They said that if you what was the latest rule again with the money?
See, I don't know. The last thing I heard or I saw was that if you have loaded up your SIM with more than 100 naira, you're not going to get any money. The other thing I also heard is that if you have, I think, more than 1,000 naira in your account, you're not going to get any money. And we don't know. Again, this is the era where lots of fake news is just flying around. So we don't even know if this is true, if this is a lie, I'm not holding my breath because already know that it's not going to be a lot of money. It's not going to be no $1,200 like my friends in the United States are collecting.
Or Canada.
Or Canada, for instance. So I'm not holding my breath at the end of the day. All I'm going to say is if they're going to do a lockdown, then they should properly do a lockdown. If possible, do a lockdown where all supermarkets are closed. Give people some time and say from next week, every supermarket is going to be shut down, and nobody should be found on the streets. Because, okay, yes, there are less cars on the streets, but there are loads of people just strolling up and down. I even saw an ice cream man selling ice lolly, I'm just like, are you joking? Are you serious?
I don't understand because I'm thinking this is a lockdown, but is it really a lockdown or is it like a partial lockdown? And then don't forget that a lot of the states in the north have been like they cannot enforce a lockdown, so they're not going to do it. So it's crazy because not every single state in Nigeria is undergoing this lockdown. So I'm just thinking.
I feel as if people even do you remember environmental sanitation?
Yeah.
I feel like people even observed that or took that even more serious than this lockdown.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Because environmental, even fowl, you will not see fowl on the road. Chicken, you will not see.
But do you
understand?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think after the first day or two, when people realize that, wait a second, there's nobody really, enforcing this, then everything just, everybody's just like, F it. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. So I'm just really worried. All right, guys. So that is it for another episode of OffAir. Not like normal or whatever. And big shout out to the people that left comments on our YouTube channel. Last week, we asked you if you could have a particular cosmetic surgery, what would it be? And most of you said liposuction. So that's kind of like what I expected. I still want to.
I was looking at a lot of it. People were like, "Oh, breast lift or breast reduction or liposuction, cinch my waist, etc."
When you see when you have if you're well endowed, at the top and everything, and then you have kids and you breastfeed and everything. Oh my goodness, they suck the life out of your boobs, man. So I will definitely want to do that, but it's also a dangerous surgery because they have to almost they don't take off your nipple, but they move it or something. I remember seeing something. I was just like, that does not look comfortable. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be brave enough to do all of this that I'm talking about, but if they can do it at one go, maybe. If I can just go under and then they just do everything maybe I'll do it. I'll think about it. But you guys keep safe. We care about you. Do the right thing. Let's get through this thing together. The more we don't stick to the rules, the longer we have to do this. And the more frustrating it will be. So let's just, try and do what we're supposed to do. Wash our hands. If you don't have to be out, don't be out. Social distancing. And hopefully this thing comes to an end sooner rather than later. Gbemi, do you have anything to say? What are you eating?
I'm over here just looking through the comments on our YouTube page and just giggling at what people were saying. A big shout out to the people who went to our YouTube page to watch. Shout out to you. We are really, really, really appreciative that you're sticking with us, even though we don't have our regular setup.
You don't. I miss it.
I know. People miss the guys as well. They miss their feedback.
I say guy. Big shout out to them.
Dayo,
TK. Yeah, we miss them too.
Do I? Nah, maybe small.
No. I would have loved to have Accent Guy give us his thoughts on this whole twerking on IG Live. It would be quite interesting to find out what he thought about that.
No wife material should do that.
Yes. You can't be somebody's wife and be twerking on IG Live. You can't be. It's not going to happen.
Who put you in the house?
I can't marry someone like that. Oh my God. Anyways, stay safe, guys. Hopefully we'll be here next week. Hopefully this thing ends sooner rather than later. Be safe.
Be safe.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.